your channel, is that not going to lead the audiences watching these channels to think, well, the people voting for these politicians must support the racism or they must support the grooming?
I mean, to some extent, but like, you have fundamental disagreements with these other politicians. Of course, you're going to have fundamental disagreements with the voter base as well. Like, there's not a way to get around that. Like, Trump is a fascist. If you support him, you are supporting a fascist. Like, I'll try to explain that as empathetically as I can, but to water that down or to take away from that message is necessarily like devaluing or, I guess, missing the point of what I'm trying to say. Like, it can't be that, like, when we go to the voting box, it can't be that, like, everybody's choice is equal and we can all do what we want to do and everybody loves each other. Like, you can be empathetic towards a person's position. I understand why you'd support a fascist.
Okay, so you disagree with Pondering. You think that they are vilifying the voters. You just think it's fine.
I think we're getting hung up. What does the word vilify mean?
Well, I think if you're going to call everyone voting for Trump a fascist...
No, I said they support a fascist. Is that vilifying? If that's vilifying, then fine, I guess. But then all of politics is based around vilifying. Like, they're literal villains, right? Your political opponents, to some extent, are villains. They oppose you in your political process. They are the antagonists to your protagonists. Like, yeah, I mean, but it's such a weird...
Do you think the people supporting Trump go in and say, I'm voting for this guy because he's a fascist?
I think that's a separate question.
Wait. No, do they do it because of that? No, but that's usually just because they're too uneducated to know what fascism is. If you were to describe fascism in other words, yeah, I think the majority, I think 90% of Trump's voter base, if you were to say, do you think it's really important that we have a really strong leader that sometimes takes the reins away from, like, the corrupt institutions of our government and takes the country in the direction that we really needed to go because he knows what's right for this country? I think 90% of Trump voters plus would say yes, right? You could describe fascism in other words and they'd vote for him, but yeah, they're not going to say, I vote for a fascist.
I don't agree with that definition of even authoritarianism, because you're not even saying, like, abolish the government except for the president, have the president be the sole source of power.
You don't need to abolish the government. You can have a puppet government. You can have a government that technically functions, but the president is allowed to tell the vice president, hey, I need you to overrule the vote for the presidency. Or you can have a government that has institutions, but the president is allowed to fire and replace the heads of the DOJ, the FBI, the CIA anytime they do something he doesn't like, right? You can have
also trying to expand that power too, as we know that Trump is trying to do.
I think if you would ask